Hello, Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, thank you so much for watching my last video. It's up to nearly over 800 views. To me, that's like a Justin Bieber video. I was shocked in about 4 days. Honestly, I was so pleased. With that in light, I decided that I would entertain you again. This one is to the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses for the fun of it, and it's to current Jehovah's Witnesses who are secretly watching this. I want you to see what your pioneers are really doing. Now, I was never a proper pioneer. Back in my day, pardon me while I'm making myself comfy, I was only a regular auxiliary, which means I had to get 60 hours a month out on service regularly, and I did that for only about 8 months. When I looked recently, I found out that you only have to get like 30 hours now to be an auxiliary pioneer. Oh, that would have been so easy. I was getting 30 hours all the time before that. Never made a ministerial servant though. I'm still a bit pissed about that. Maybe now, thank God, eh? Anyway, wanted to do this video. It's really fun, and it's going to be some of the details of how people got their hours in, right? We called it get your hour in our Kingdom Hall. Other people did made your time, all kinds of stuff like that, okay? Doing the doors. I was on a door, weird stuff like that that only Jehovah's Witnesses understand, okay? So let's talk about some of the things. I'm looking from one of the forums here that people did to get their hours in. Ooh, are you ready? And if you're a current Jehovah's Witness and you're not doing this, this is what your pioneers are doing, people, okay? Don't be looking at them like they're doing good, because they're not, okay? So, I once told the Jehovah's Witnesses that I was doing a Bible study, when in fact I was doing the naughty. Doing the naughty. Oh, dear me. Is that naughty as in naughty with the hat? Or naughty as in bad things? I think I know what it is, okay? Right. I actually went out and did what I said I was doing. A little teary face. I did that mostly too. I went out on service and thought like, oh, it's so hard to get your time in. There's another one, get your time in. It's so hard to do this. How do they do it? And then towards the end, I learned from pioneers in Dunleary congregation that what you do is before you go to the group study, you start the meeting, the service meeting, you start your time with a tract, and then it all counts. And then when everything's all over, just before you get to your house, you give a tract just before you get home, and then that all counts, and suddenly a 2-hour service will become a 7-hour service, or a 5-hour service even, and it's, oh, so much easier. Do that, okay? So, this poor person did every time. What I pity you, right? Okay, pioneered for years while I was a ministerial servant and elder, and always managed to doctor my field service report up until I was recommended to be a substitute circuit overseer. Oh my goodness, thankfully that's when he woke up, he says. Okay, good, I'm glad to hear it. Let me see, I could have doctored the finances as PO in my hall and made a killing in a year or two or more, and no one would have been the wiser. But he didn't, because he was a good, honest guy. Good for you, okay? I did letter writing to avoid having to knock on doors. And then I never mailed the letters. Are you kidding me? That is so naughty. I never did letter writing. I should have done that, because I would have much preferred to sit indoors and watch TV whilst writing a few letters. But no one can understand my handwriting. I signed up for Auxiliary Pioneer once, the only time. I did it only because I felt I had to. I didn't have a job at the time, and of course I couldn't let all that free time go to waste. Guilt, guilt, guilt. I wasn't really in the mood to be doing it. Who would? But I forced myself to go out as much as possible. I didn't end up completing my hours, so I added a few extra hours in, so I wouldn't look as bad. Even with the make-believe hours, I only had about 65. Also, when I knocked on doors, I was mostly hoping no one would be home. I did that. If you were a pioneer or you were any kind of Jehovah's Witness, you remember this. The pioneer knock. I hope you're not in. Please don't answer the door. Don't come. I did that all the time. Or the pioneer walk, which was about 10 times slower than an elderly person on a Zimmer frame. Oh, good Lord. I would also fake knock while younger, and then when I got to my car and license... I would also fake knock while younger. Then when I got my car and license, my girls and I would make a car group. Then go shoot pool or go eat. When time was up, we would meet the big group back at the Kingdom Hall and turn in fake slips. Guys, this is what you're doing. This is what your brothers and sisters are up to. If you're not doing it, you're a fool. Okay? Better not to do it all truth though. Okay, if I knocked on a door and a school friend opened, I'd say I was selling pens for a charity. Then I'd go buy a cake, buy a Coke for lunch. I love you. Pens for charity. I should have done that. I hated that. Do you remember hitting doors, knocking doors, and then someone would open and it was a school friend, and you knew that Monday the next day at school. Oh, guess who I saw out doing his church stuff? Oh fuck, I hated that, man. I used to count time when I would make out with worldly girls after school. That doesn't count. And tell my mum I was making return visits with class. That doesn't count. You can't count that. Since it was the 80s, I wore a tie to school a lot. So she bought it. She was an idiot. When she was asking me how it was going, I would tell her they stopped listening. And others asked questions, so now I had a route. Never took my clothes off, so I figured it was safe. I love that. Snogging girls, worldly girls, and then calling it a return visit. You, my man, are a genius. Okay. Dear me. I admit that my pen worked harder than my feet ever did. Plus, I did lots of hall maintenance around our state on alarm systems in the Kingdom Hall, so I could throw big hours at my report without question. I never knew that, you see, that there was loads of stuff that you could count towards your service, which wasn't actually service. No one ever told me that. These are the secrets they don't tell you because they just want you knocking doors, dumbass. I regular pioneered. I spent most of my time going around the libraries reading frowned upon books. Love it. Good work. I had a mastery of the faux knock, but was put to shame by a JW I saw this weekend. The guy simply slowed down his walk in front of each house long enough to jot down the house number, then slowly walked on to the next house. He didn't even go up the steps. I lost sight of him a few blocks away. No knocking at all. He didn't even step up to the porch. I wondered at that point, why even waste your day? Just stay home and lie about your hours. You could do that, guys. My husband left the org a year before we met. He was 35. I was kind of like that with my wife. He also he door knocked all his life and never converted one person. We both gave our lives to Jesus 10 years ago. He door knocked after becoming born again, invited a lady to church. She gave her life to Jesus and still comes to our church. Well, good for you. I'm pleased that worked out for you. I'm not particularly religious myself, but each to their own. Oh, dear me. I rarely met even the 10 hours that I was supposed to do. I was quite inventive with what I thought was casual witnessing. Telling people in a nightclub toilet my mum made an awesome top they love enough to want to buy one. She won't sell because he's a JW. That's at least 25 minutes right there. No, you're supposed to be talking about God. Okay, that's what you do there, okay? Answering a simple question, no, to have you got Xmas organised yet on the bus? Well, the journey was 15 minutes, that counts, right? You people were so smart. I was an idiot. Oh, good God in heaven. Okay, yep. When I was regular, they sent me to Belfast. I was in Belfast. I'm going to talk to you later. I would always have a Bible study lined up, Thursday and Tuesday, with some old person who wanted company to watch TV with. But when I was 14, we had a book study in our house, and so I used the collection box as my personal bank to get cigarette money. Jehovah is angry at your cigarette habit. Oh my goodness, that is appalling. Right. Oh, I'm just going to save her this one because we might know each other. We would pretend to knock. Everyone pretends to knock. You pretend to knock, don't you? You do. You do. This is the loudest knock you'll ever hear from a Jehovah's Witness. And you've got to do it. You've got to do it like flamboyantly, though. You know. So I would come up to the door and I'd be like, "I can't wait for you to open to learn about Jehovah." And then I put my hand down and I'd just stand there waiting as the brothers and sisters file by, and they'd be like, "That man's got a real gusto for God." No, not at all. I hated every second and minute of field circus. Hated it with a passion, but forced myself to do it. To this day, I still hate the idea of selling something, or expressing my opinions or beliefs to those who haven't asked for it. Went against my natural nature of who I really am, a private person who hates being the centre of attention. Absolutely right. And that's not me. I'm a bit of a showy person, but sometimes. But I get you. I hated that too. I still don't like selling stuff like door to door. Okay, and then somebody's written here, being a stay-at-home mom, everyone says to me, "Oh, you should try Avon or sell Tupperware or something like that." I can't explain how repugnant it is to try and sell stuff. especially after that. Yeah, absolutely. You're either good at sales or you're not good at sales. I was good when I was younger, but I'm kind of losing it now I'm older. So more fake knocking, okay? When I was an auxiliary pioneer, I found out that writing letters was considered field service and you could count your time. We've covered this before. But you weren't allowed to replace all of your field service time with it. Well, I would write all week long and then go out in the field service at the weekend. The elders noticed and questioned me about them. I told them that I was writing letters. What could they do? No one really had a hard and fast rule about this one. This was before computers. So I typed up letters with an old typewriter. This used to be so I typed up letters. There used to be a phrase for pioneers in my area who were known for moving super slow. It's called the Pioneer Shuffle. Yes, I've heard of that too. I think we called it the Pioneer Shuffle or the Pioneer Walk. But as you know, I just mentioned that one. It's very common, okay? 90 minutes of witnessing. Then Dad would take us to the convenience store for cokes and snacks. Then we'd just do return visits after that, which for me was the most tolerable part of the morning. Absolutely. That's what my dad did with us a lot. And we'd take turns who got out, okay? A bit easier because my sister got out of the whole witnesses by about 17, so it was stuck with me mostly, okay? Yes, I remember hearing about the Pioneer Shuffle very well. Oh, dear me. Okay. I answered the door. Some drone from the department that received congregation service report nagged me about how important it is to get them to Bethel on time. I got her off my back saying I'd do it right away. That night I got a call from the presiding over saying Bethel had also called him to tell him that I wasn't doing reports on time. My God, I was only one freaking day late. So he must be the servant who's in charge of that. Oy. I lied in my judicial committee in order to not get disfellowshipped. Well, this is a little bit off the subject, but let's find out what happened, shall we? We're all ears. We're hanging on bated breath here. The brothers were all over the age of 60. My father asked questions such as, did he climax inside of you? Did he stick his penis inside any part of your body? Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Sick now that I think about it. Absolutely. I'm not going to read anymore because it's fucking gross. Okay? Sorry if you went through that. That's horrible. Now, where were we? I fudged my time slips and put away more than I was actually doing. We all did. My sister and I would often say we had a study at the field service meeting so that no one else would go with us. And we'd ditch service that morning and go meet up with boys. It was fun. But we were always in constant fear of getting caught. Do you remember that feeling when you were Jehovah's Witness? You were constantly in fear of getting caught. Do you remember that? Everything you did, oh, I've just gone to the library and I've got books and they might not be perfectly Christian. Quick, hide them and walk quickly to the car. Oh no, I've just gone to the off license and bought a 6-pack. I hope no one thinks I'm an alcoholic. Oh no, I've just bought it. I'm just looking at a car. Oh, I don't want them to think I'm too worldly. Oh, the guilt. I felt it's worse than being a Catholic. It really is. At least Catholics can go into a room and say sorry about it. We have to go into a room and say sorry about it with 3 elders who then disfellowship you. Okay, what more we got? Fake knocking, adding times, throwing magazines away, saying I placed them. That is a new low. Oh, dear me. Sitting at the meetings and sat passing notes to each other. We used to do that during the assembly. In fact, my brother actually, he decided to write a fake Bible during one assembly, and it was all about, all the characters were like fake stories, and ye and all this. He put out all his Old Testament language, all his King James Testament, but it was all our friends that were characters, and this was getting spread around the entire hall. Oh dear me. I routinely padded my field service report. As an elder son, I could get away with murder, but I do miss hitting people in the mouth with the microphone. I never hit anyone in the mouth with the microphone, but I really wish I had now. You're making me feel bad. Here's somebody who says, I went out in the field service and would regularly pad my report. I feel so bad. I hated field service with a passion, but when I was a teenager, I auxiliary pioneered. Me and my brother too. It was called temporary pioneering back in the 40s, and the hours were, how old are you? Were 100 a month. 100 a month! Fuck me! 100 a month at 14! Jeepers! I'm not talking anymore about that. That's just... If I felt that I would disappoint those around me if I didn't get my hours in. I did add hours and I felt guilty about doing it. After I grew up, I avoided going unless I was guilted into going by my elder husband, who had to keep up appearances. I always got physically ill when I had to go. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses got physically ill, or ended up with mental problems, or ended up with, problems which just meant that Thursdays and Sundays were bad for them. I also did fake knocking, sneaking up on porches so I couldn't be seen or heard. Or my best friend and I would go and sneak into businesses or restaurants, but say we got invited into a home. You are so smart. I never thought of that, love. My favourite though, my worst thing was, do you remember whenever you snuck onto a porch and then the person would open the door and you hadn't knocked and they'd look at you like, what are you doing on my porch? And you'd stand there going, oh, did the bell not work? Sorry, it's a terrible noise. Oh my goodness. Going to McDonald's was the best part of service. Apparently you Americans do that a lot, but we didn't have McDonald's here until I was about 18, so it didn't become a thing for us. Oh dear me. What else have we got? Letting 13-year-olds go knocking on hundreds of doors every month. It's dangerous too, and it's putting children at risk. Absolutely is. Never really thought about it like that. It's a good point. But listen, I've come to the end of that little section on the crap that we did. Why am I putting it out there? I'm not putting it out there to show you that we were all mean or that we were all bad witnesses. Many of us were very good Jehovah's Witnesses. As I said, many of them were circuit overseers or presiding overseers, regular pioneers. I was a regular auxiliary pioneer. We all did bad things. We all lied about how we were supposed to do it as Jehovah's Witnesses. And the reason I'm doing this is because whether you go to the meeting tomorrow, is it tomorrow? What day is it? Tuesday? When you go to the meeting in 2 days, depends really on when you watch this video, doesn't it? When you go to the meeting, then I want you to look around. Look at the pioneers. Look at those people who are cracking big hours in and who are sitting there smugly answering, and people are going, oh, they have a zeal for Jehovah. Just remember and think about them and just think that's how they're doing it. They're all doing it. We didn't make up the tricks, guys. We were taught them by other people. Okay? They're writing letters. They're going for coffees. They're starting 2 hours before you, but actually not really. They're ending 2 hours after you, but not really. It's nonsense. The whole system is nonsense, and you don't know it. If you don't know it, you're a fool. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to make another now. Have a good day.